With so many games happening in the NCAA week every week, I know it's impossible to keep up with everything going on. That's why I want to give you guys a weekly roundup, just of players that are sticking out to me, teams that are out there hooping, just to keep the conversation going and help you and guide you on just what you probably should be paying attention to as we continue in this NCAA season. So, without further ado, let's get started. So let's just talk about the players who were out there hooping. Now, of course, there is a plethora of players who did a big one this week, but there was a couple that just kind of stuck out to me, starting with Jelani Cambridge from Ohio State. Listen, if we know anything, I've seen a pattern, and freshmen are going to come out there and they are going to hoop. And Jelani is one freshman that you need to keep your eyes on. In my opinion, again, it's only been one game, so it's a little too early to call. But if she's able to keep and do what she did in that first game, the rest of the season, baby, you're looking at potentially going to be your freshman of the year. First game of the season, Jelani goes out there, she puts up 31, 6, and 6. Jelani is different, and I'm going to repeat that. And you can log it. Write it down, put it in your memory. Don't say I did not tell you. She is on some different time over there at Ohio State right now. I'm watching the game and I'm like, yeah, she's definitely not playing like a freshman. These freshmen are different, guys. These freshmen are different. And Jelani definitely put me on notice. Right now, Ohio State is not ranked, but definitely a team and a player to keep your eyes on because, baby, let's talk about a fantastic debut. And while we were on the topic of freshmen who are coming into the NCAA making some noise, got to go over there to Michigan and give their flowers to Silas Swords. Now, Michigan ended up playing South Carolina in their first game, and although they did not win, baby, I know they had some heat on the back of South Carolina's neck. But let's just say Silas was out there and she was hooping. In her debut game, she put up 27 and 12. And I know going into a matchup against South Carolina, we're talking about back-to-back national champions. They haven't lost a game in God knows how long. Like, it is a tall task. And Silas said, I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I think one of the things I was impressed with when it came to Silas was she's only 6 foot, but my good sis can shoot beyond the arc, and she can also finish with contact at the cup. I mean, to put up 12 rebounds, obviously she's not afraid to get into the paint and mix it up with the bigs. Silas Swords is definitely a player you need to keep your eyes on. Michigan is a team you need to pay attention to. Like I told y'all, that Big Ten is going to be tough. And I'm excited to see definitely what they're able to mix up with that group over there. And then the last player this week that I definitely was making sure to pay attention to was the biggest foe, Flau'jae Johnson with LSU. Hey, if Big Fo keeps playing like she's playing right now, baby, go ahead and wrap it up this season. Go ahead and wrap it up this season, declare for the draft. Flaw's out there hooping. Now, I know people are going to come in my comments and they're going to critique, well, LSU don't play nobody else. Baby, it don't matter. What I'm paying attention to is just the development of the game. Let me tell you something right now. It is looking effortless right now out there for Flau'jae. Effortless. My good sis, you can tell she put in a lot of work in this offseason. She put up, 24 the first game, 25 the next game. Okay, Big Fo, I see you. So week 1 wasn't too crazy. With it being the first week, we see a lot of teams just kind of getting their feet wet. Everybody's just trying to get acclimated. Everyone's schedules, honestly, is set up. Like, they're not going to be playing the top 25 teams, top teams in the NCAA. Everyone's trying to just get their mojos going. So we saw a plethora of blowouts. There was blowouts left and right. But in the mix of that, there were some of our top 25 teams that I definitely was like, starting with the University of Notre Dame. Now, let me just tell you something. Strongest backcourt, in my opinion. Hannah Hidalgo, different. And she was giving me a little Steph Curry energy out there. You know, my good sis out there hitting threes. She's throwing air. She's doing the bows in the crowd and stuff. She feeling herself, and as she should. One of the top 2 guards as a sophomore in the whole entire country, in my opinion. And then you mix her up with Olivia Miles. Yeah, Notre Dame is gonna be a problem. Yeah, it's looking different over there in South Bend. Let me just tell you that. Obviously, and then we have South Carolina, and South Carolina is going to be South Carolina. What sticks out to me about South Carolina more than anything is the fact that their bench is so deep, baby. When you get South Carolina scout, you got to do everybody on roster because the rotation is deep. And what I am most excited about seeing is one, Pow Pow. Listen, that draft stock, if she keeps playing like she has these last couple of days, draft stock is going to go up. So keep your eyes on her. Hey, Chloe Kitts is out there hooping. You know what I'm saying? I love seeing the progression from each season. Freshman to sophomore to junior. This junior season is looking very bright. Then obviously Lele with the butter. Lele's gonna Lele. She is. She's definitely, Malaysia Full Wiley is a dog in every sense of the word. So, South Carolina, man, you hate to see it. Yeah, you hate to see him coming. And honestly, sometimes it's so hard to have this conversation like a week in, just because our top teams haven't been really challenged. But from what we have seen, like UConn, they're ranked number 2 for a reason. Paige Beckers is in her bag. What sticks out to me most about Paige's game is just the efficiency. My good sis is not only taking shots, but she's making the shots she takes. She's only missing a couple. So that just means her shot selection is just top tier, and her ability to process the game and know what is a good shot for her. And then also shooting shots she knows she's going to make. Like, she knows she is the head of the stake for this team, and that when she goes, everybody else goes. And then you add in those other variables around UConn, like, I mean, they're UConn for a reason. And then the last little piece in my roundup that I want to talk about is just teams to keep an eye on. And I want to start off with Oregon. They got a big upset win against Baylor and definitely went down to the wire. I have been impressed with Deja Kelly. I know she's trying to get that draft stock up this season. Big time players make big time plays, and Deja Kelly did just that when they needed her. Also, keeping my eyes on Ole Miss. Now, although they did not win against that game against USC, I would hate to see Ole Miss on any type of defensive scheme. They are scrappy. They are physical. They play with a lot of energy, a lot of tenacity. They literally forced USC into 20 plus turnovers in that game. So you already know Coach Yo got them right. Ready to put teams through 40 minutes of hell on the defensive end. So that's just my little brief NCAA first week roundup. Obviously, there's a plethora of games that we didn't talk about, a plethora of different teams to pay attention to, but definitely wanted to give you a little bit of taste test of what kind of got me excited. But hey, in week 1, what teams were you paying attention to? What players are on your radar? And what games are you looking forward to coming up in week 2?